Hello there, how are you?
Okay,
Hi, how are you?
fine.
Okay, can you tell me something about yourself?
I play rugby and I do music.
Okay, that's interesting. And is rugby something that your family loves to, or is it just you out of the family trying to learn it?
Me.
Okay. And what about music? What kind of music?
Every type of music. I make beats, play piano, and I
Okay,
play music GCSEs.
that's really creative. Wow. Are you trying to make a career out of that?
Yeah,
That's perfect. Wow. You have yourself figured out, I guess.
yeah,
Perfect. So your name is Pius, right?
yeah, vibes.
Pius. Okay. So I guess this is something that your previous teachers must have talked about.
Yeah,
Perfect. So tell me about your favorite subject.
business.
Business. That makes me feel like you're pretty much getting ready for life. You're like, I would make beats and I need to learn business so that I can make a business out of what I'm doing.
Yes.
Pretty
It's
sorted.
mainly because I'm really good at business, because business has been my main focus for like years now, so I don't even need to revise, because like when you say anything about business, I already knew like way I already knew one of everything. So it's not like my best, but it's like my strong suit in school. To pick a subject, I'll pick business because I don't need to study for it.
Oh, that ways. That's
Yeah,
nice. Creative. Great. I'm not good at math, so I don't understand business much. Too many logics.
I'm
Okay.
not good at maths, you know. I'm very sure I'm bad at science because I'm getting a 3 now. I'm a grade 3.
Okay. Okay. So that's
And
exactly
my
what.
target is a grade 5 or 6. And I'm on a 3 now.
Okay, we can work for it. So, how is your biology? Are you on grade 3 in biology too?
Biology. I'm okay with biology. To be fair, I'm fine at biology. It's physics and chemistry. Because on in my old school, I wasn't like in my old school. We had a separation of classes, like a commercial class, an art class, and a science class. So if you was in science, that's when you did physics, chemistry, and all that. So I was in commercial because of business. So I only done biology because like that's one of the general subjects that all the classes done. So I
Okay.
only done So I only done biology.
Okay.
In science, I only did biology. That's the only one that's alright for me. And physics and chemistry are really like new to me.
Okay, that makes sense, perfect sense. What I can give you tips with is chemistry is if you talk about the organic chemistry, that's a lot of learning. So to help with that, make a sheet of all the types of reactions, paste it somewhere around your study table or your bed so that you watch it
Yeah,
again a lot. Because in biology, we're taught one thing, which is your memory to pictures is way much more than your memory to text. You don't learn a lot of text, but you can learn pictures. So if you keep on watching something again and again and again, you would learn it, like how we learn entire um, dialogues of a movie if you watch it, for like repeated period of time. So you can do that. For physics, I would say what you can do is for physics, it's basically try to connect it to your house. Everything that you learn in chemistry or I mean in physics, you have that in your house one way or the other. For example, motion. Do you know how to ride a bike, like a bicycle?
yeah,
Perfect. So every time that you're learning motion, try to connect to that. Try to understand what's going to happen because when we're moving. That's exactly what motion is. So then they tell you about different things in motion. So that comes all along together. But at the same time, you have topics like electricity then. So try to connect it to your house. How does that work in house? So the more that you connect it to real life, the easier it would be for you to understand the concepts. Make sense? Okay. So I've picked up the topics of biology today. So tell me about human organ systems.
Human organ systems like the digestive system, like liver, heart, lungs, atrium.
That is true, but there's only one system that you mentioned, digestive system.
Digestive system.
Others were just organs.
Okay.
So digestive system has
respiratory system as well.
Okay, I understand. So what about circulatory system?
Oh, I think I have an idea what that is. Is it not like the flow of like things throughout your body?
Yeah, exactly that.
Like exactly like blood, because it goes from like one part round and round.
Exactly that. Exactly the type of things that you have. So atrium that you said is a part of heart. So that's circulatory system. Now what happens is digestive system would have a lot of organs involved. It will have stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver and pancreas as well. Although liver and pancreas are not a part of that system, they're substitutory, but they're still there. So like that, we have a lot of organs working together to make an organ system. Now, I have options for you. Digestive system and circulatory system. Which one do you want to learn?
I've done digestive system, so I think I'm partially okay with that.
Okay, so
I'm okay with that. So I'll go with circulatory system because I've not learned that in my new school right now.
okay. So let's learn about heart. First thing in this topic that I would like to tell you is do not depend solely on the diagram here, because I've seen questions which give you heart like this and they would say work it out. So these people who make papers are sometimes lazy, so don't work it out on the shape itself or the entire system. Try to understand the logics. That's what I am going to work with. First question first. Do you know what a heart attack is?
Yeah.
What do you think heart attack is?
I think I know why heart attack happens. Is it like when your atrium has to walk harder?
No.
Then why does it happen then?
Okay. So basically, a heart attack happens when, let's say in this here, there are veins on the heart, blood vessels on the heart, you see? These are the blood vessels that are getting oxygen to the heart so that the heart can beat. It's not about the circulatory system. It's about the heart. They're trying to get the oxygen to the heart so the heart can start beating. So what happens is sometimes that, let's say right here, there would be a blockage. So if somebody is into not a very good diet, not a very good lifestyle, so they would have fat deposition in their heart. And because of that, now any point forward this, in all this region, you would receive no oxygen. So that is a heart attack. And have you ever heard about a stent?
No.
So stent is basically a gauze that they put in to make sure that the heart attack does not persist and it doesn't happen anymore, so that we can save a person's life. For example, this is a video that's going to tell you how they put in a stent, and then what I just said would make a lot more sense to you. So here you go. This is the blockage. Right. So as the balloon starts to grow, so does the gauze. So it keeps on increasing in size. And once that happens, what happens is the the gauze starts to push away all the fat. So this goes like this, because of which the blockage has been removed. So you can get your balloon back to normal and you can take back the needle. But this gauze, which is known as a stent, would stay. So the stent is left behind, and then you're not having a blockage anymore so that the blood can flow through easily. That is a stent. This is something that you use to basically treat the heart attack. Make sense?
Yeah.
And now coming to the second question. Do you know what a bypass is?
Bypass. Yeah.
Okay. So another way, yes?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. So another way to treat a heart attack is a bypass surgery. For that, it's important to understand what a bypass is. So for example, A and B are two towns. They're connected by a road from within the town. So that means it's going to be a busy road. It's going to have marketplace, a lot of red lights and stuff. So that road is usually very occupied, very busy. Hence, we usually have bypass roads to connect two towns from the outer edge of the town instead of going within the town. What that does is it saves you from the hustle bustle life of the town. Instead, you just bypass it and move forward. That's a bypass. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now let's say again the blockage is here, which means till this point, just before the blockage, you already have blood coming till here. The problem is you're not receiving it in the other parts. So what you do is, this is the main blood vessel that's coming out of the heart. I'll talk about that in a second. You take a graft. Okay, a graft is a blood vessel that you make in lab. So you do that and you connect it right where the blockage ends. Once this is done, you already had blood before the blockage. Now you're going to have blood after the blockage as well, solving the problem. But here the problem is you're not doing anything about the blockage. So it may arise anywhere else as well. Same with stent. You're just, treating one blockage, which means they can arise at multiple points. And that's why people with heart attack are told to take care of themselves in a way that it doesn't keep on happening. They're supposed to change their lifestyle, their diet, and everything else. Make sense?
Yeah.
This I told you even before understanding the circulatory system, because it's more practical part. A person can understand it, like a non-biology person would understand it too. So it makes more sense. Let's now jump into field biology, the learning part. Okay. So the best way to understand heart is by our hands. So your hands have two fingers, first upper two chambers, lower two fingers, lower chambers. The upper chambers of the heart are known as atriums or atria. Right atrium, left atrium. Another thing that you need to understand and fix it in your head is, whenever in biology you see a diagram, it's flipped for you. So your right would be their left and your left would be their right. Which means if you're given a diagram without any second thought, what's on your left should be the right side of the diagram. What's over in your right should be the left side of the diagram. Make sense?
What side is more muscular? Is it the right atrium or the left atrium?
This should be your left, is it?
Yeah.
So every diagram that you ever see in biology is your left. This is my left. You see me inverted, but this is my left, and this is what I have here. So don't bother with my hands, left and right. Okay. Now coming to the second thing, that you can draw a very distinct line between the body to understand that right side of the body only has deoxygenated blood. Well, deoxygenated just means it has carbon dioxide. They just did not want to say like carbonated blood, so they said deoxygenated. This is oxygenated, and this has oxygen. So keeping that in mind, the right side of the heart as well would have deoxygenated blood. Right side of the left side of the heart would also have oxygenated blood, because this is right and this is left. Now coming back to the fingers, right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. It's just your last two fingers. I'm just closing last two fingers. First two together, last two together. Perfect. Now, what happens? With your thumb. With your thumb.
Okay.
Yeah, first two together, last two together. Perfect. So this is what it is. Right side, right atrium. Sorry, it is like this. Right atrium, right ventricle. Left atrium, left ventricle. Perfect?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, once this is understood, what happens is the blood comes into the heart in the right side first. For example, look on the inside of your elbow or your wrist, you would see green or blue colored vessels.
Yeah, my veins.
Yeah. They all are, even if they're on your right hand side or your left hand side, they're all going to go to the right hand side of the heart. Always. Even from your legs, every part of the body, wherever you see blue colored blood vessels, they're all going to go back to the right side of the heart. Enter the blood. Yeah. So once they enter the right side, pump, pump, they leave the heart. So look at this. This blue is leaving the heart. Once they leave the heart, they come back into the left side, pump, pump, and they leave the heart again. Which means every single drop of blood is entering the blood circulatory system twice. Once in the right side and second time in the left side. So what happens is pump, pump, leave, come back, pump, pump. Which means there's double circulation. That's one important thing that humans have. Humans have double circulation. And this is to keep my oxygenated and deoxygenated blood separate. Which means the right side of the heart that had deoxygenated blood is taking that blood to the lungs to get oxygen and then come back to the heart with oxygenated blood. And to ensure that, we need two different sides of the heart and double circulation. All clear till now?
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. Moving forward with this. Now, I want you to make this as it is. Then I'm going to tell you how to read it.
Make it?
Yeah. Just write it down. Because this is the only thing that you need to learn in circulatory system. If you learn this, that's all that's going to come in the exam.
Okay, I'm good. Science. That's true. Right atrium. Then that's it. Alright. Then no, first. After the levels.
Oh.
After the pulmonary,
Pulmonary.
No.
Pulmonary. Pulmonary.
Pulmonary.
Hmm.
Pulmonary.
Hmm.
Pulmonary.
Perfect.
Done.
Okay. Wherever I've drawn the arrow with red, make it like a different line, and yellow arrows, make it like a different line, and write that this line means oxygenated blood and this means deoxygenated.
Use different colors.
Perfect. You can use colors as well.
Yeah, these are red and blue. Oxy.
Now, if you want a mnemonic for learning this, I have a mnemonic. So tell me if you can learn sentences, then we can go for
that.
Okay. So the mnemonic goes like, body is right and really
Body is right.
very lovely. Okay, loving.
Very loving.
Very loving.
Loving. How funny is very loving?
And then,
Right. Very, really very loving.
yeah,
Yeah. I'll say that for everyone last time.
love and
Love and
eat.
eat.
Leaf.
And love. Is that leafy vegetables?
Leafy vegetables.
Leafy.
Yeah.
I have a friend called Leafy.
You have a friend called Leafy.
Yeah.
Does he like
And he's
vegetables?
vegetarian as well.
Okay. B for body. Right for right. A for atrium.
Oh, I see. Then the R is for right vertical. Then the L is for lungs. Then the other L is for left atrium. Then L is for left ventricle.
That's how you can learn
Okay.
it.
Okay, yes.
Good enough?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Very. You wouldn't get it if you did. I wouldn't know that was what it meant if you did not explain it.
That's how you can learn anything. Although, if you are into beat, you can make your own rap out of it. Like, it actually says B, R2, L3. I'll tell you about that one as well. But first
I
write.
can make you a song and teach my friends.
You can make your beat out of that?
Yeah. Or a tongue system.
Okay.
Make out that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Body, right, okay. Right atrium, right ventricle, lung, left atrium, left ventricle. First, when I made this mnemonic, I said B, R2, L3, because B, twice R, and then 3 times L. But use the first alphabets and make any sentence out of it, like quite literally any. Whatever works for you, you can make it. And that's the best way to learn biology. Like, get first alphabets of the important things, learn that. Make sense? Try it, and I think because you are into music, this would help you a lot. Learning things, not only just in biology, but anything. If you're trying to learn, take the alphabets that are important, make a beat out of it, and then learn it. Okay? Now let's learn how to read this. This is the only part of the circulatory system that you need to learn to solve all the questions that come from the heart. So the first is from the body. Let's start from the body. Always start circulatory system from one point. So I'm starting from body, especially the ones that are going back to the heart. So like I said, it goes to the right side of the heart. The one blood vessel that's quite literally attached to the heart, taking all that blood in the heart, is known as Vena Cava. It's a vein. So another trick to learn this. So there's only two types of blood vessels. There's artery. Artery has A, which means this one would take the blood away from heart.
Yeah, I've actually dissected hearts before. Big hearts.
Perfect then.
Some blood clots inside and some like tiny, not vein, but holes. And we have to find where the atron and the ventricle is.
Perfect. That makes things so much easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So artery takes it away from the heart. So because one is taking it away, somebody has to bring it to the heart. So vein by default would bring it to the heart. So Vena Cava is the vein, the main vein that brings the blood back to the heart. So from the body, whichever way you can learn, from the body it would go to right aorta. A for aorta, A for artery.
Yeah.
And that's it. This is all that you need to learn. Nothing else, nothing more. And this would make you solve every question. Now first, let's quickly look at the diagram of the heart for the safer side. Now how they confuse you is, let me draw it sideways here. How they confuse you is, usually most of the diagrams have lungs at the top, heart in the middle, and the body at the bottom. And then they say from the body to the heart, from the heart to the lungs, back to the heart, and back to the body. So this is the simplest way of drawing the circulation. But then they confuse you. How? They would do a body, and then without even explaining, they would say heart. And how they would do it is, they would get it here, one circulation here, and then there would be another circulation that goes like this and comes back. Now, what they're trying to do is, these are lungs. And this is your brain, the top part. They have split the body into brain and the lower body, and lungs have been cited, which sort of is true. There's lungs, and in the middle you have heart. So it's not actually an upper circulation, it's like a back circulation, because lungs are like sideways, so it goes like this. So it makes sense, but yes. And that is why in the diagram itself, you have inferior vena cava coming from the lower body. Then you have superior vena cava coming from the top of the body. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Atrium, ventricle, leaves. This is pulmonary artery. It's in the diagram, flow chart. Then it comes back, pulmonary vein. And this tiniest little part is the right atrium, left atrium, left ventricle. Then aorta going to the entire body. All clear till here?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now let's try and solve questions using this, okay? This is your first question. I want you to look at question yourself. You have to describe the kind of blood that's present in X and Y. This is X and Y. First of all, figure out the diagram itself, like the complete diagram. I've zoomed it up for you. This is body.
On the right side, it's on the right side is, on this side, the X is
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated blood. While on the Y is deoxygenated blood. Am I correct? Oh, it's the other way around.
Why does it have to be other way around? Why does one have to be oxygenated and other by default have to be deoxygenated. That's what I said. Like, for example, even if you don't draw anything, what's the kind of blood that enters the left atrium? Look in the diagram.
Is deoxygenated.
Left atrium, it's coming from the lungs.
Oh yes, oxygenated then.
Perfect. What kind of blood leaves the left ventricle?
Deoxygenated. Deoxygenated. Deoxygenated.
Left ventricle. Left ventricle.
Then the oxygenated.
That's what it
Why
says.
then?
Like coming in the left atrium, leaving the left ventricle. Both are red arrows. They're both oxygenated.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Look and trust only the diagram. And there's no way that it has to be compulsory that if one is oxygenated, other has to be deoxygenated. That's where you lose
the diagram again. I just want to make the red and blue lines to know what ones are like.
Okay.
Red. These ones are red. So now I know where each one comes from. Yeah, but
Perfect. Have you done the deoxygenated one as well?
yeah.
Perfect. So focus on the
Because
diagram. Yeah.
oxygenated is left ventricle, left atrium from the lungs, while deoxygenated is the right atrium, right ventricle.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Now, this is your next question. It asks
Wow.
you the name. That's why I explained it before. They're asking you the name of the blood vessel W and the name of the vessel Y. Let me zoom it up.
Aorta. That's W.
Look at the arrows. Look at the arrows. Look at your diagram.
Because the arrow is next to the body.
Yeah. And it goes to the...
Oh.
Which arrow is going to from the body to the heart? In the
I
diagram.
don't know because it's not labeled, so this is not labeled, so I don't know.
Okay. In the starting, I said your left is the diagrams.
Mm-hmm.
If this is your right hand, what would be it would be the side of diagram. It's flipped. It's flipped. Your right is the diagram's left. Your left is the diagram's right. Now figure that out.
The W should be the lungs.
No, W is the blood vessel that's going to the heart. Which blood vessel goes to the heart?
So where's the lungs then? Where's the lungs? You like move the mouse to where the lungs is. So that's the lungs. So now the bottom here is the left atrium then. If that's the lungs, the bottom there is the left atrium.
This one?
Yeah. No, like that. This pathway. Yes, where's the lungs?
These
Where's
are...
the lungs?
Okay, hold on.
So then the bottom here, the W part should be the left atrium.
No, hold on. Let me draw the arrows again for you. So the body goes from the body up and reaches here.
Right atrium.
That's right atrium. Perfect. What's the blood vessel that takes the blood to the right atrium?
Aorta. Vena
Cava.
Vena Cava.
Perfect. That is W. Now, then it goes to the lungs, comes back, goes to this lung, comes back, and they both come to right atrium, left atrium, left ventricle. It leaves, and then it goes to the body. Which blood vessel goes to the body?
Aorta.
Perfect.
Lungs. Is it aorta or lungs?
Which one blood vessel goes to the body?
It's aorta.
To the body, it is aorta. So that is correct.
Yeah.
So it's Aorta.
Yeah, he was correct. Well, that bit's the lungs.
Yeah, these are lungs.
It's because it's not labeled, so it's a bit tricky.
It is. That's why I said focus on your flowchart, and that's it. Try to understand where your flowchart's arrows are going and then connect it to the diagram, and that's it. Okay? Okay, this is your last question. So they're asking you blood vessel X. From the options, choose the right answer.
D. No, wait. I'll take the risk. No, wait.
Which side of the heart is this?
Yeah, it is D. It's D.
Why would you take oxygenated blood to the heart again, Pius? When it's already oxygenated, why would you take it to the lungs?
Wait. Then it's D. Wait, because there's no oxygen in it when it goes to the lungs. Then the lungs gives it oxygen when it comes out.
Yeah. So which
so
one?
It should be B.
Yeah.
B instead of. Is that right?
It is right.
Yeah.
All you had to do is, this is the right side of the heart. And this blood is leaving the right side of the heart. So it's going to the lungs. Made it clear. And then
the lungs give it air.
Perfect. So this is how you solve it. All you have to do is learn this one diagram thoroughly to your heart. And once you do that, all you have to do is apply this. Like, I would rather advise that once you come up with a question of circulatory system, draw this tiny bit into the corner, figure it out from that, and then try to solve your question. Okay?
Yeah.
So these questions actually are past year paper from the past year papers. So there is a good possibility that they are going to come in the exam. So learn this. You want to make your beat, but do learn it. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's do one last thing, which is revise the digestive system. I'm not going to be in here. I'm going to take my face out of the screen. You're going to watch a video, okay? This would explain all the parts of the digestive system. And then we're going to sum this lecture up. So there goes my face. And here you go. These are the salivary glands. That comes in. Yeah.
Where's the protease?
No, it was amylase breaking down carbohydrates. Then this is esophagus. It's going to push the food down, peristaltic movement, into the stomach. Now, in the stomach, you first release mucus, then HCl.
Yeah. That was disgusting.
And now comes the disgusting part. Food comes in. Now first,
the gases break the food down.
Correct. And the bacteria would be dying because of HCl. And then pepsin, or the protease, would break down proteins. And then my food would churn itself in the stomach.
So then the waste food goes to the...
No, it's still digesting. There's still some part of digestion left. Then...
When it goes into the liver and some other... not liver, the small intestines.
Perfect, yeah. Small intestine. Then there's more carbohydrate breakdown. This is fats. Yeah. Fats would break.
Lipids.
Yeah, and that's how they break down into one single particle.
Yeah.
Then comes extra secretions from liver and pancreas into the small intestine. That's my favorite part. This is how small intestine looks on the inside. It has these,
Got you.
yeah, and these finger-like projections are villi.
So it's like a 3D example.
Yeah, that's what it is. Once you get the food into the blood, whatever has been digested goes into the blood with some ions and minerals.
And blood plates.
And the best part is that this villi has even tinier villi on itself. These are called as microvilli. So you're stuffed with it. And this is the last part of small intestine. So it gets wider. So I can churn food again if left any of it. And then the food comes in the large intestine. This is where it comes in from. And then you have bacteria to help you with the digestion. So the food goes up, sideways, comes down. And whatever is now left that has not been digested is stored in the rectum. Every part made sense to you?
Yep, 100%.
Perfect. And if you want to learn about how, like, shortcuts, there's a shortcut to learn everything. I'm just going to give you an example because I know you've not learned the names of enzymes today. So I'm just going to give you an example. If you're breaking down a carbohydrate, it has to be an amylase. So both the amylase are going to work for. Then proteins are broken down by two enzymes, pepsin, P, trypsin, P. So P, P, P. And then comes the last one, lipids. Lipids have L, bile has L, lipase have entire LIP like lipid. So that's why this P cannot be counted with protein because that sounds like lipid. Okay? That's what you need to do. You need to find tricks and you need to find the best way that works for you. So you can make flowcharts if you want to. You can learn it by a beat if you want to. You can make mnemonic. So there's like thousands of ways to learn one single thing and make sure you don't forget that in the exam. Okay? The best way to learn science is this. You connect to it, like you understand the concept first, then you learn it step by any way means possible. Okay? Now, do you have any questions, Pius?
Yeah, 100% good.
Okay, and do you like riddles?
A little bit.
Can I ask you one?
Yeah, go on.
What goes up and comes down but doesn't move?
Gravity.
Gravity doesn't
Wait.
go up.
Oh, rain.
No.
Rain doesn't move.
Wind moves like it travels.
No, rain.
Rain comes down and rain can't go up. That's evaporation, not raining.
Oh, so it goes down.
Comes up but doesn't move. You use this every day. Most parts of it.
The species.
No.
Once it goes down and comes up and it doesn't move.
Think about staircase.
Oh. The staircase.
Staircase goes up, it goes down, but it doesn't move on its own.
Oh. That's a pretty hard one.
Okay. What has many eyes but can't see? That's biology.
Okay, that one, I have no idea.
Potato.
Potato.
Yeah.
How's that got eyes?
lines that you see on potato, those are called eyes.
I see.
So yeah, it's fun to know riddles. Anyways, now do you have any questions? Okay, any doubts regarding anything from biology or a general thing that you're struggling with in science?
Don't think so.
Okay. Okay, perfect. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the class, and I would really like you to join the classes.